And on top of the skills presented in the webinars, we offer community, as I said before. You can't just take the webinars individually. You'll receive the webinar and a full manual for each webinar. But if you take the whole series, you'll have access to one of the unique features of our services, community. If you sign up for the full series, you'll have access to a password-protected online webpage with a discussion board. You'll be able to post questions and answer questions. You can visit as often as you like, share your insights and stories, and get advice and insight from other faith leaders and from us. We're also going to schedule conference calls so you can hear each other and talk to each other. It's a whole different level of connection and engagement with your peers and ourselves. There'll be one conference call during each series. I also thought it would be good to provide just a little bit of content in each of these podcasts. So I'm looking at what light unifies your community. And I'm connecting it to why take these webinars. A faith community is one of the most beautiful things on earth, and community is hard. Martin Luther King Jr. in his sermon on loving your enemies said, "We should be happy that Jesus did not say, like your enemies. It's almost impossible to like some people. But Jesus recognized that love is greater than like. When Jesus bids us to love our enemies, he is speaking of agape, the love of God operating in the human heart." Well, that's a pretty big challenge, and it takes work. Rejecting each other is easy. Living with and loving each other is hard. This series of webinars covers skills and tools that support loving community. And M. Scott Peck also talked about community and about faith communities and what does it take to be in connection so we love each other for who we are, which he calls real community. But he said that when people try to make community, they usually start with what he calls pseudo-community. See if you have ever experienced this. Pseudo-community is when people who don't love each other try and pretend that they like each other. They try and avoid real disagreement and stick to generalities. They don't share their real selves with each other and suppress their feelings of disagreement and disappointment with each other. However, in order to save the fragile community they have, they quietly try and convert the others to their point of view, which of course is the only correct one. I don't know about you, but I've been part of a lot of communities like this. As you can imagine, it leads to a lot of quiet conflict, anger, and very little real community and fellow feeling. Well, what's the difference between that and real community? Peck says in real community, people take the time to understand who the other person is, even if they don't like them. They're united with each other through love for each other and commitment to a higher set of values and goals that bring the group together into a whole. But there's no way to love someone you don't understand. And real understanding, really understanding anyone enough to love the God in them, as you know, isn't easy and takes effort. So my hope is that in these webinars, I can teach you skills and processes you can use to work with your faith community to clarify the unique vision that unites and shapes your community, help them learn to understand each other, and if not like, I hope, find their love for each other, and work together rooted in that love. If the webinars in this series don't seem on target for your needs, or if you think you might want more, consider the second series, Healing Wounded Faith Communities. That covers conflict assessment, understanding what's going on in your community, building strength and healing, understanding each other, building solutions together, and sustaining your faith community, loving difference. If you want to learn more about Series 2, please see that podcast. At this point, we're accepting applications for the pilot project. We're seeking 10 volunteers who will take at least one whole series, hopefully to both, for a cost of $10 per series to cover our most basic expenses. Both series would cost $20 per person total. Since the normal cost would be $250 per series, For $500 for both series, this is a substantial savings. If you want to be part of the pilot project, please email us from the Contact Us page on the RMG Resilience website or at rachel@rmgresilience.com, telling us who you are, a little about your congregation, where you are, and why you want to be involved in the pilot project, and we'll send you a registration form.